Beef Heifer Development. We're going to review the goals of heifer development and herd performance evaluation. Lesson 1. Most beef producers replace 10 to 20% of their mature cows each year with heifers. Heifers that will become profitable should become pregnant within the first 25 days of the breeding season. Give birth to a live calf with little difficulty. Raise the first calf to an average weaning weight. We're not expecting them to be the heaviest weaning weight calves at this relatively young age. We want those heifers to breed back in the first 45 days of the breeding season and continue to produce a calf every year for the next 6 to 9 years. Some reference points. Top cattle producers are calving 50 to 60% of their total cow herd by 21 days. 80 to 90% by 42 days, 90 to 100% by 60 days. If the percentage calving early is declining, one of the places to look is what is the nutrition for those animals, and/or nutrition is not meeting the genetically altered herd. Many producers are selecting for higher milk production, certainly a viable selection. However, you must match your milk production to the forage base you can provide. Some average values for when calving occurs in a calving season. I've got a couple things bolded. The first and second cycle, you're expecting the majority of the calves to come during this time period. Admittedly, the third cycle, you expect calves to be there, but you don't want this to be a large number compared to the first and second cycle. The percentage of yearlings, first calf heifers, and mature cows weaning a calf, a low percentage in a specific group may indicate problem areas. If over 4% of mature cows are open, we might need to look at the nutrition program, the health program, or is it a bull issue? If over 20% of the yearling heifers are open after a 45-day breeding season, what is the heifer development program? That needs investigated. If over 10% of the yearling heifers are open after a 60-day breeding season, once again, we need to look at that heifer development program. Some goals as far as what we want in reproduction. We want a calf crop of over 90%. If it's less than that, then we need to evaluate our management program. That hope is a 60-day breeding season, we have a pregnancy rate of over 95%. If it's less than that, once again, what are the things that we can do to maybe alter that? And then first 20-day pregnancy rate over 65% is a goal. Culling rate. Your decision to increase or decrease culling rate may depend on depreciation schedules or where we are in the cattle cycle. If prices are very, very high, you may be tempted to hold on to those older cows if they're still reproductively viable and optimize weaning weights that way. However, in environment, if we have a drought, that could drastically reduce the number of animals we keep, mature or young. And then action is needed to respond to other herd performance indicators. So the culling rate is not constant. Some calf performance goals is we would like steers to be about 2.25 pounds a day gain when the calf is on the cow's side. Heifers over 2 pounds a day, and certainly the goal is 100% weaning. If it's less than that, we may need to look at our management program. We also need to think about genetic origin. First off, you have to like the breeds and breed combinations that you're raising. And then you look at the effects of your genetic selection on that heifer development program. And what is the management or forage you can provide? If you're part of an alliance, they may have stipulations on the genetic selection that's being used to create those replacement heifers. You have to consider the marketability of the heifers and the calves. And then, do you purchase replacement heifers or do you develop them on your own? So we'll look at these different production phases in heifer management prior to weaning, weaning selection, growing, breeding, and rebreeding.